Hi, I'm Merrick D'Amato.
And I am the breath of evil.
And welcome back to Mindbreakers.
Yes, the show that breathes the breath of evil into your lungs and makes you visualize terrible, terrible movies. Today on the Mindbreakers, we will show you one of these.
Well, without further ado, we're going to bring up our special little wheel in 3, 2, 1, bam. Gonna give it a spin.
There it be. Watch it twirl. What we got?
The Night Brings Charlie.
Oh, wow.
This,
Charlie.
We're getting obscure here, guys.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what this could be. As I am always.
I love how the abbreviation for it is NBC.
Yep. Brought to us by NBC.
From 1990. And it has a score of 5.1.
Okay. It's better than the last one.
A horrifying descent into the twisted killing spree of a psychopath.
Okay.
Is that literally all we're getting?
Yeah,
okay, it's all we're getting for description.
That's what it is.
Okay.
It's a mass murderer film. Okay.
No other information given.
Fucking psychopath? Is this... Okay, you think it's gonna be as good as Shocker?
No. Because Shocker was awesome.
Yeah, Shocker was really cool. When I think now, like, of just movies about, like, psychopaths...
Yeah.
And they're just kind of, like, not really explained all that much... My mind will automatically go to Shocker from now on. Shocker was really good. I'm hoping this matches up.
So expectations?
Expectations?
Given no information, do you have expectations?
Expectations are it's probably not going to be as good, but I'm keeping my hopes up. Even though Kratos told me to always keep my expectations low.
Boy,
keep your expectations low, and therefore you shall never be disappointed.
See if this gives us any more. Oh, another way of saying. Oh, I found a YouTube video of it. A horrifying descent into the twisted killing spree of a psychopath, and that's the official synopsis.
Mm-hmm.
And then the person who uploaded it says another way of saying guy in mask kills random people.
Okay, so Halloween. Along with Jason.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw. Yeah.
Hatchet. This
is going to be way lamer than Leatherface. Is this going to be like just a thing trying to capitalize on that?
Probably
is.
Probably. Yeah. It's 1990s. Slasher fad is kind of starting to die.
Let's take a look at it. Charlie squats in the bush, he gets stronger. And every minute I sit in this room watching The Night Brings Charlie, I get weaker.
I asked for a slasher film. And for my sins, it gave me one. A mediocre, boring one where nothing much actually freaking happens.
Yeah, an uninspired, lazy... like costume. It's just Jason from the first Friday the 13th mixed
with
like
goggles,
just thrown in a fucking blender with the guy from My Bloody Valentine.
Not even that much blending. They just slapped a pair of goggles on the sack mask.
Basically, just the laziest version of that, and just make him a fucking gardener. And just have him kill people with garden shears and chainsaws and shovels and...
I don't think he actually kills anyone with his chainsaw.
The laziest bullshit script.
And there's seriously no trailer for this freaking film.
This does not surprise me. Honestly, not like this was made 1990 straight to VHS, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not surprised at all. Like I would assume If you, like, I've never heard of this movie. And I could have lived the rest of my life not knowing what this movie was. But now that I do, I am perfectly content with what I know about it. Like, the knowledge I know for it now, it's just not, it doesn't shock me at all. So, this movie opens up with just literally a girl in a car making out with a guy. And she gets out to go home. She's like, I gotta go. And at first I was like, but girl, where are you going so fast? Like you don't have to go to the bathroom right away. Like, we're maybe like a mile away from the closest bathroom. Like, you don't have to go that bad. But she leaves. She goes up to her door. And Charlie's just there waiting for her.
And kills her. And
Cuts her head off.
With one of those, I think it's one of those saws.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it garden
Pruning saw.
Pruning saw. We also get a shot of Charlie just putting gardening tools in his gardening shed full of weaponry.
Yeah. He's just putting everything away. I was half expecting them to have like the little chalk outlines for each one and have him be like super OCD about his placement. That would at least be something, you know? That would be like it'd be a motive. That would be like a dyslexia he kind of has,
Not
you know?
a dyslexia, like a neurosis.
Yeah. A quirk.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have any of that. He doesn't have a quirk. He doesn't have like an MO, really, aside from kill them with gardening equipment.
Yeah.
Aside from kill them with gardening tools, he has literally zero MO. It's just lame. He's just kind of boring, you know? So the cops end up showing up. No, even before that, we get the shot of a black guy finding her corpse.
Yeah, and he screams. The big scream goes to a guy, which is rare.
Yeah. That was pretty nice, actually. I found that pretty quaint. It's cool. I like that. Nice little change up. That's a little seal.
No, it's a doggo. You've been bamboozled.
But the doggo, but seals are just doggos of the sea.
So the cops are discussing this with the DA about who like trying to catch the killer.
Yeah. And
there's a completely irrelevant plot point that one of the cops is from LA originally.
Yeah.
And it's just is this going to factor into the movie?
Not at all.
No? Okay.
They're in this fucking podunk ass town
called Poco.
They're in the middle of Ball Fondle the woods. In like where like ass end of fucking like New Mexico. Fucking middle of nowhere basically. And they're trying to find this killer who is just in plain sight. He's just he just wears a sack
and Googles.
And yeah, sack and Googles, and he doesn't speak. No words. He is a mute.
This movie has like very, very little plot.
Yeah.
There's a party we're suddenly at a party, and one of the girls who's ostensibly a main character.
Yep.
Is like, hey, but we're out of beer.
It was Jenny, right?
Yeah,
Jenny.
I don't know. It's like, we're out of beer, so okay, I'll get more beer. And then she goes with her friend, and they can't get beer. They fail to get beer.
Yeah, she tries to fake out the cashier.
One of the other girl's sister comes to pick her up, and then the other girl gets murdered.
Yep. By Charlie.
Yeah.
With I think gardening shears.
Yeah. Gardening shears this time.
Yeah. So this basically sparks.
Then we meet the girl's dad.
Yeah.
Who's worried. Yeah.
He's walking around for most of this movie with like just a shotgun, questioning people.
Yeah.
And trying to look out for his daughters. He's probably the only one with like a major like motivation in this movie, aside from the cop. But like, he's just like he's mostly just like sitting around, or he's walking around in the streets with this fucking shotgun, and
there's an asshole kid called Joey.
Yeah.
He dies. There's not a lot of connective tissue between the plot points of this movie.
Yeah. The dad, though, at least, like, he's looking out for his daughter, you
Sort
know?
of.
Like, his daughters. And, like, he's got reason to be, you know, questioning people and shaking the tree to see what falls out, you know? But he's nowhere near, like, being, you know, the hero of this.
Yeah, a slumber party happens, but that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
So much of this movie is pointless guff.
Oh, it's just... It's so just, like... It's just a bump in the fucking road. That's just what it is. It's just a bump. It's a bump of a movie.
Considering all the stuff we've watched on this
yeah,
show,
it's a bump in the... It's not even a speed bump. It's like...
This is the thing. It's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination.
It's an anthill.
But with all the stuff we've seen, it's not even bad enough to be interesting.
Yeah. It's just a little anthill with little ants in this little town where this one guy...
Mountain Town.
where this one guy who just so happened to have access to gardening shears and
murders a bunch of people.
And also just so happened to be in Nam.
Yep.
Came out of Nam unscathed, apparently.
He did
just to come home
and get into a chainsaw accident.
yeah, and get a fucking chainsaw accident. Like,
so we realize there are two killers.
Yeah.
One of them's Shelley's dad, and it's because he killed a 17-year-old in Nam, but the war ended, so he didn't get charged for it.
I think his name was Walt.
Yeah. And he also knew Charlie back in Nam, and he killed Charlie alongside Charlie.
Yeah. I mentioned that to Merrick. I'm like, so wait, Charlie was in Nam, and Walt was in Nam with Charlie, and they were killing Charlie in Nam with Charlie.
The hell's anything have to do with Vietnam?
I was like, Charlie must have been real confused in Nam. That probably explains a lot of what happened.
One of the dumber lines in it is, Charlie's mute. How could he give a 2-page confession?
Yes! He's like, Walt is like, okay, so it wasn't me. Charlie came to me and he confessed to me personally. He left me a two-page confession, and the police officer's just looking at him like, he's a mute. How could he confess to such a crime? It's like
a 2-page confession.
Oh yeah,
he wrote.
He has no access to a pencil and a paper, and he can't be fucking going like this.
Maybe to make that make more sense, he could have been mute and have lost the use of his hands, and he was like killing people with hooks. Like he just had 2 big old hook hands, and he was killing people with those.
That would be.
It would be something original.
It'd be a reason. It'd be a reason for him not to be able to confess.
It would also be.
It'd also be the most fucking strange thing to see. Just have this guy just walking around pruning the garden with these fucking him trying to.
He's like that. He'd be like I think that character from what's Series of Unfortunate Events.
Yeah.
Their guy with his 2 old hooks for hands.
Yeah. It would be fun to see him trying to, like, use gardening shears or trying to rev a chainsaw with a fucking hook hand. And he never once kills anyone with his hook hand.
He has hand attachment. It's like stumps, and he can, like, pop them into different tools.
Yes.
Like, this one's a pickaxe. This one's a saw.
Oh, he's got a fucking chainsaw in one hand?
Yes.
And just a fucking pickaxe on the other?
And then he falls over because it's too heavy?
Yes!
The gardening shear attachment goes at one on each hand, and like...
Yep.
That would have been something interesting, at least.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't have been smart, but it would have been interesting.
This movie was so just like, it was so down. Like, it was a dial tone. That's what it was. It was a dial tone of a movie.
So a lot of people die.
Yeah, shit. We get, like, oh god, not to mention that, like, this audio in this movie, like, whoever mixed this audio is just nonsense.
Well, they were ripping it directly from a VHS.
It's just, it's like, it's like some of it is fine. Like some of it you can actually hear. It's very legible. Like for most of it, but then you'll get like maybe the 7% where like a line will just be like as horribly mixed as the Birdemic audio from the waitress. It just sounds nasty. Like we're watching this with headphones.
Yeah.
And like there was one point where I think it was it the dispatcher girl?
Yeah, just crackled out.
Yeah, she just like she straight up just like she basically old routers, and I just threw off my headset. I'm like, no, I can't right now. like what the fuck was that? Yes. Oh god. Ebony Ma. Yeah, Merrick's looking up pictures of Ebony Ma. Just random memes of Ebony Ma. And he found a picture of Squidward and SpongeBob with like a bunch of glass shards in his face. Squidward looks like a gray.
Yeah.
Like he's a gray with a nose.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a gray plus nose.
So after he gives the whole lowdown on who the real killer is, Walt goes to try to save his daughter.
Yeah.
Gets shot in the chest by his daughter.
Uh-huh.
And then chasing the real Charlie's chasing one of the girls.
Yeah, this is
with the chainsaw.
This is after
and then
we get three biker three
bikers,
dumbasses.
Right.
Just pull up on their bikes and they're like, we're gonna pull a prank on Charlie. So they find him in his barn. And
didn't he stab, just very casually impale someone's hand with gardening shears?
Oh yeah, I forget. Like this was probably before the scene with the three bikers, yeah. But he just like nonchalantly just stabs a guy's hand into his car.
Yeah.
And then just drives a little bit with him on, like, attached to his window. And then he eventually just runs him over after that. But, yeah, these three bikers, one guy just gets grabbed up immediately.
Yeah.
And just, like, sucked up to the top of the floor of the barn.
And then he jumps out of the hayloft and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah,
now we're going to the conclusion. So the chainsaw's leaking fluids.
They're just the biggest dumbasses.
So Walt lights the fluid on fire.
Yeah, he's chasing after Jenny, I think, with the chainsaw.
Yeah, and then Charlie goes up, and then he runs on fire into the river.
Yep.
And then everyone lives happily ever after, or did they? This movie got a sequel in 2016 called The Night Brings Charlie Back.
They obviously didn't live happily ever after, though, because first off, he's alive.
Yep.
Because he doesn't burn to death. You see him, like, just limp dick fall into the lake.
He does get into the water.
Yeah, he just jumps into the water. I want to see the killer. I want to see the Charlie go into the water.
I want to see the mouse
dance. But he just falls into the water. And then you see at the end of the movie he's driving his truck. And he picks up a hitchhiker girl. And
Charlie.
And she's like, Charlie, right? And then they drive off. Like,
how did you
obviously
tell her his name?
Yeah. Like,
how does she know his name? He can't speak.
I have several questions.
Did the fire give him back the ability to speak? Does he have new vocal cords made of fire now?
No, you know how she gets his name?
How?
I'll tell you. Because he's burnt from head to toe, and his name, he pointed to his char marks.
And then a picture of Bruce Lee.
You're Charlie.
I know. You know how she knew he was Charlie?
How?
He wasn't surfing.
Right.
This movie was terrible.
Oh Lord.
But not even. But
the best part, the best part of this movie, though, is when she Jenny just has this dream, and
Charlie's just hanging around her window.
Yeah, she has this dream sequence, it was maybe not even 10 seconds long. And I'm just like, was that a dream sequence? And then she just wakes up from this little dream sequence of opening up this little barn door. And then she just sits up in bed, opens her window, looks outside, and Charlie's just pruning the fucking tree. And then he just, like, looks at her.
And I think he waves, like, hello.
He just, like, yeah, gives her a little wave. And that's when I gave up. This movie was
not even like one of those knowing like twiddles the fingers waves, just a friendly hello.
Yeah, just oh god.
And the thing is, I hadn't picked up that he was a gardener yet,
man.
so I was like, wait, he's just there, and no one's batting an eye about this masked, obvious murderer.
Yeah,
hanging outside the window.
No,
really,
dude, he's inconspicuous. No one knows that he's even. Deranged in the slightest,
So
the guy that just walks around with a fucking burlap sack on his fucking head.
Let's talk about the chainsaw accident.
I was going to talk about Bobby.
I want to talk about the chainsaw accident first, okay?
Okay, fine.
His chainsaw accident means his face is all mangled up and stuff.
Right.
When did chainsaw accident generally mean, oops, I cut off my foot or something?
Yeah.
What? How dumb are you to have the chainsaw right up near your face?
Yeah. In what universe is he fucking revving up the chainsaw, cutting things around his face area, and then just fucking decides to just give himself, give this chainsaw a cuddle with his fucking head?
Because you cut a foot off, you cut some fingers off, get it? Okay. Not great, but understandable.
Yeah.
How did you have to try to do that?
He thought something smelled funny about his chainsaw. And he was noticing scents that were off-putting about his chainsaw, so he just wanted to give it a little sniff.
Without turning it off?
Yeah. Because if he turns it off, the scent might go away.
Yeah, I would have just here's the thing. He was in Nam.
Yep.
Right?
Mm, yeah.
He's horribly scarred and disfigured.
Not from Nam.
Napalm, son! Come on!
Yeah.
I accidentally got some napalm on his face. He got burned.
No, but then the climax of the movie wouldn't have been as impactful. It wouldn't have done anything to him. Fire would have just been a drop in the bucket.
True.
He wouldn't have been. It would have been like lighting Freddy Krueger on fire.
Okay, shrapnel
after
maybe.
The fact.
Shrapnel.
Yeah.
Took some shrapnel to his face, like in World War One.
Mm-hmm.
That would have made sense.
Or Charlie caught him and tortured the shit out of him, cut it out his tongue.
Yeah.
And now he's just all fucked up.
This movie wasn't good, and it wasn't bad enough to be interesting.
Water tortured, even anything. Just anything to give him
Oh yeah, if he got his powers,
reason.
If he got his power with some water, then fire definitely would be his weakness.
Yeah, I guess so. the entire plight of his existence is water, and then the Fire Nation attacks.
Yes. What do you want to say about Bobby before we put this mess to bed?
Okay, Bobby is me.
Bobby Dulon.
Bobby was hiding in a bush. Bobby squats in the bush. He got stronger. And then he popped out and he scared the two females. And then they were like, Bobby, that's not cool. And he's got like the leather jacket and like the combed over like emo. He's got the emo over.
Yeah, he's got the floppy hair.
He looks like me. And I was like, yeah, Bobby's cool. And then he dies.
That's what happens to cool people in movies, Gio. They die.
Yeah, and this is after the father, like, basically walks up to him with the shotgun and is like, you best not be messing with my daughters.
No, sir.
No, sir, I'm not messing with nobody's daughters, sir. You best not be. I know how y'all Sicilians are. with your motorcycles and your Lamborghinis.
So what do you think of this mess of this? Not even a mess. It's not interesting enough to be a mess.
No, it's not. It's definitely not.
This drop in the bucket of our movie watching experience.
You know what it is? It's like it's like what he did with the population sign. Like he got the little population sign.
Massively.
Yeah, welcome to Podunk Fuck Nowhere. Population 1,230. Fuck.
He just took, like, it was 32, he just crossed that out, put a 1. No, it was 31.
No, he just puts
Cross that out, puts a 0.
Yeah, just puts
but this is after
0.
he killed 3 people.
Yeah.
So you're getting it wrong.
It's pointless. It's like, oh, we've got this score right here. I'm just gonna put a 0 right there. You know what? I'm gonna draw some little chalk lines around these other numbers. I'm gonna take down, about 200 more people. So I'm just gonna chalk that up now. You know what? While we're here, we might as well just cross the whole thing out and just put a big fucking 0.
Just kill everyone.
Just put a big fucking 0 over there. Leave no survivors. Once I'm done here, I'm just gonna fucking leave. And that's what I'm doing now. We are just gonna move on from this.
I'm not even gonna bother scoring this one. It doesn't.
No, you know what? I'm gonna score it. I'll score it right now. I'm gonna score it with 2. I'm gonna give it 2 pages of the confession that he could not write.
I'm going to give it a vehement meh.
A Vietnamese meh?
No, a vehement meh.
A vehement meh.
This movie was meh.
Never get out of the tree.
Never get out absolutely goddamn right.
Charlie got out of the tree.
And then he waved at you.